What's up, everyone? And today I'm bringing a deck profile on my Gadgets. Now, Gadgets is a pretty cool deck. If you don't know, it's technically very old with the yellow, red, and green Gadgets, and it actually has since gotten some support. And I think fits the Gadgets and in a way kind of more support in the Machina Structure deck. But without further ado, let's get right into it. First off, I run the 2 green Gadgets, the 2 red Gadgets, and the 2 yellow Gadgets. Now, one thing I do want to say, I really don't like them. But for Gadgets, it's kind of necessary. I don't like them mainly so because of their effects. All they really do is grab one, green grabs red, red grabs yellow, yellow grabs green. And this effect can be acted whenever it's normal or special summoned, so that's a bit of a plus. But it doesn't really give you a whole lot more based on that. Most you can really do is go into Link 2s, Rank 4s, which isn't too bad. Now the other Gadgets are actually thankfully a lot better, which I run the 3 silver Gadgets and the 3 gold Gadget. Now originally I opted to actually just cut the red, yellow, and Gadget because honestly silver and gold are just infinitely better. Because whenever silver or gold Gadget is normal or special summoned, you can special summon a level 4 machine type monster from your hand. And if this card is destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Gadget monster from your deck, except itself. So let's say you have a yellow, silver, and gold in hand. You can normal silver, effective silver with a special gold, effective gold, special yellow. So the gold and silver Gadgets are actually really good. It's just you kind of have to run these Gadgets basically to summon them off of the gold and silver. Because most of the other good machine monsters and the Machina monsters are higher levels. So you can't really use them with the gold Gadgets. Now, I will say a Machina build and cutting out the Gadgets is probably better, but this is a Gadget deck profile, not a Machina deck profile. And Gadgets definitely have some cool things that I can do that Machina can't. Mainly, and that fact lies in with the gold and silver Gadgets. So if you have one silver or 1 gold and any other of these, that's a Utopia double right there. And that's definitely one option when going for this deck. You can go straight into Utopia double and just blow your opponent out. You can set up Abyss Dweller, or you can work it in with the Machinas. Speaking of Machinas, I run the 3 Machina Citadel. Now, most deck profiles of Gadgets, you only play 1 Machina Citadel. But out of all the monsters I run, I think Citadel is definitely the best because unfortunately it cannot be normal summon unless you spell summon by a card effect. And quick effect, you can target 1 machine monster you control, destroy that machine monster, and all monster opponent controls with attack less than or equal to it, which is really good considering the gold Gadgets. The effect to special summon a level 4 machine or a level 4 Gadget monster from your deck is if they're destroyed by battle or card effect. It does not have to be your opponent's card effect, so you can use Citadels. Pop your gold, silver, platinum Gadget, then special summon 1 from the deck. Or you can pop itself and basically pretty much kill Raigeki your board during their turn, which is very powerful. And main reason why I run 3 Machina Citadel, because that's, I guess, the main card I want to get out. And thanks to another card on this list, which I'll get to when I get to it, really works with Citadel really well. Also running 1 Machina Fortress. I don't like it as much as I do the Citadel, although Fortress is easier to summon out because basically Fortress has a really cool effect to where you can discard machine monsters whose total level equals 8 or more, then special summon this card from your hand or graveyard. So you can even send itself off of its effect. So essentially its first summon is more or less free. And if this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy that, and before resolving an opponent's monster effect that targets its face-up card, look at your opponent's hand and discard 1 card from their hand. That effect is good, but if your opponent knows this effect, they're not going to intentionally use it. Which is why I often go for a Citadel over the Fortress. Now, I do run 1 Machina Metal Cruncher. Originally, I had it at 3, but I kept running into problems where I'd have multiple copies in hand, and I can't really do anything with that. Because since it's a higher level, you cannot summon it off of the gold and silver Gadgets, or the platinum Gadgets for that matter. Now, Metal Cruncher, when it's normal special summoned, you reveal 3 Earth Machine monsters from your deck, then your opponent randomly adds one of them to your hand. And Metal Cruncher can summon itself. If you control no face-up cards, you can essentially normal summon it without attributing, but its attack becomes 1800, which is cool, but considering it's already a higher level in your hand, you can't use it with the Gadgets that I said before, which is why I cut it down. Now next is the cool tech card that I saw, the Infinite Track Anchor Drill. Now, first when I built the Infinite Track or the gadgets, I wasn't thinking about Infinite Track Anchor Drill at all. It never even crossed my mind. And then I was looking further into this deck, and then I'm like, yeah, that's really good because so Infinite Track Anchor Drill, when it is normal special summoned, you can special summon one Earth Machine monster from your hand in defense position. So basically, you can summon it off of the gold gadgets. You can summon or gold, silver, and platinum gadgets. You can summon it off your normal summon. And then, since Citadel is an Earth Machine, you can summon Citadel off of the Infinite Track Anchor Drill. So that's why I run 3 Citadel. The ideal hand would be to open a Citadel and an Infinite Track Anchor Drill, because then you can just you'll have that Citadel for your opponent's turn. I run the 1 Ancient Gear box, so whenever Ancient Gear box is added from the deck to your deck or graveyard to your hand, except by drawing it, you can add 1 Earth Machine type monster with 1500 attack and or defense. The only target with this, unfortunately, is the Infinite Track Anchor Drill. None of the others really work as targets, but that's mainly why I run the Gearbox, is just to get that Infinite Track Anchor Drill. And even if you don't have Citadel in hand, Anchor Drill works with the Gold Gadget. It works with, well, no, it doesn't work with those ones, but it works with any of the other Machinas or the green, red, and yellow gadgets. I also run the 1 Heavy Freight Train Dare Crane. This one I really run because it's just a free summon. Whenever you normal special summon a machine type monster, you special summon Dare Crane from the hand. Next, onto the hand traps. I run 3 Effect Veiler and 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Originally, instead of the Veiler and Ash, I actually was running Small World and Pot of Prosperity, but Small World, it just wasn't really getting enough value off of banishing the cards, because most oftentimes I'd rather just keep what I have in hand. Like most oftentimes in practice when I was trying to activate Small World, it just didn't feel like it was even necessary, because I'd just rather keep what I already have in my hand. And I'd just banish something I'd rather not banish. It just wasn't really quite working out the way it did in most other decks. Pot of Prosperity, it's nice, and it's probably the best draw card you can run. However, I do use quite a bit of extra deck, and there's like not really any good targets I can just banish freely. If you want to only like maybe banish 3 or even only use like Prosperity once, maybe, but it just wasn't really. Most oftentimes when I activate Pot of Prosperity, yeah, I got to activate a little, but I wasn't really able to turn it into a whole lot. So you can run Prosperity if you want to. I just opted not to because I wasn't really getting enough value for what I was banishing. Moving on to the spells. I run the 3 Machina Redeployment. How is this even a card? So redeployment, you can discard 1 card, add 2 Machina monsters with different names from each other from your deck to your hand, or discard 1 Machina card, add 2 Machina cards with different names from each other from your deck to your hand, except redeployment. Now, you can only activate one of these effects once per turn. Considering how powerful both these effects are, that's reasonable. You can use either, it depends on kind of the situation. If you want to, like let's say you got a dead gadget in your hand, you can discard it off of the redeployment to add Citadel and Fortress. Or if you want to get the trap out from your deck too, that is also an option, because the trap is definitely a very good card, because once I get to it, obviously it destroys and all that. I also run the 1 Heavy Forward. That is more so just to search out the Infinite Track Anchor Drill, much like the Ancient Gear box. And Heavy Forward has an additional effect since it is a continuous. You can activate target 1 machine extra you must control. You can either change its battle position or attach this card to it as material. So the one cool thing about that I actually forgot to mention this about Anchor Drill is Anchor Drill has a really cool effect where it can take the levels of this one and another Earth Machine monster I control, and the levels of both those monsters come to combine. So let's say I have Anchor Drill and a Gadget. That makes both of them level 8, so we can go into rank 8s. Then that means in some scenarios, you can have rank 12s, rank 11s. So you can hard make zoos, which is really cool. I also run the 1 Called by the Grave. Don't want to get hand trapped. And since I run a bunch of level 4s, double or nothing, because during the this deck can't really handle the grind game too much. So having that double or nothing option to just close games out really helps, because you don't want the duel to really drag on. Moving on to the traps. I run 3 Machina Overdrive. Overdrive is really cool. Target 1 machine monster you control, special summon a Machina monster with a different name from your hand or deck. And if you do, destroy a targeted monster. Now, that's really cool for 2 reasons. Now, it's even more powerful with gadgets than it is with Machina Pure. Because basically if you have Platinum Gadget up or the Gold or Silver Gadget, you can target that, summon a Machina, destroy the Gadget, which will then summon out another Gadget. Then you can use the Gadget's effect to summon another level 4 lower monster. So you can just do a lot during your opponent's turn. Although you can't really turn that into much, but basically you can build a wall or just get another body on the field. I also run 3 Infinite Impermanence because it's Infinite Impermanence. Moving on to the extra deck, I run the 1 Platinum Gadget. Now, Platinum Gadget, during your main phase, you can special summon a level 4 lower machine monster from your hand to a zone this card points to, and if this is a destroyed battle card effect, special summon a level 4 lower Gadget monster from your deck. So it's a good target for Citadel and Machina Overdrive. Now, the one unfortunate thing that I really don't like about Platinum Gadget is that it cannot be used as a link material to turn as link summon, which I don't really feel like it's an unnecessary restriction. Like, sure, it'd be cool to link it away, but, you know, what are we really going to link it? Like, it's only going to be seeing plays in, like machine decks. So I think it doesn't even need that restriction and it'd still be fine. I also run the 1 Ancient Gear Ballista. Another reason why Dual Overload was such a broken set, now that we got another Dual Overload card banned. Ancient Gear Ballista, if it's linked, somebody can add 1 Ancient Gear monster from your deck, or one Ancient Gear monster or 1 Gear Town from your deck to your hand. You can also target 1 spell trap you control and 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Destroy that target, and if you do, change the opponent's monster attack DMS to 0. This can definitely be really good for the Utopia double combo. I mainly use it for the effect to search out the Ancient Gearbox, which you can use to get out the Anchor Drill. I also run the 1 Double-Headed Anger Knuckle. Double-Headed Anger Knuckle during the main phase has a quick effect. You can send 1 monster from your hand or field to the graveyard, then target 1 level 10 machine monster in your graveyard. Special summon in defense position, but its effects are negated. Now, the main reason I run Anger Knuckle is because it is a machine monster that is summonable, and it comes up occasionally. Most oftentimes, you're going to go into the Platinum Gadget or the Ancient Gear Ballista for that. And as an additional effect, if it's in your graveyard, you can send 1 card from your hand or field to the graveyard to special summon this card. So another option or way you can use this is to summon it and then go into Platinum Gadget or Ballista off of the Knuckle. I also run the 1 Access Code, kind of like help finish things up if Utopia fails. Moving into the XYZ pool, I got 1 Heavy Armored Train Iron Wolf. Iron Wolf is really good. Once per turn, you can attach 1 extra material from this card. Target 1 machine type monster control. This turn, it can attack your opponent directly. Although, unfortunately, other monsters cannot attack turns this is activated. And this card is destroyed by an opponent's card. And since the graveyard, you can add 1 level 4 machine type monster from your deck to your hand. You mainly want for the effect to attack directly, which you probably tell why. It's basically the level 4, or the rank 4 machine version of Lyrilisk Assembled Nightingale. What was Assembled Nightingale? Yeah, Assembled Nightingale. Basically, attack directly and slap down a Zeus on top of it. I also run the 1 Tigaris, as well as an Abyss Dweller, just some other good rank 4s that you may want to go into depending on what the circumstances are. Of course, the Utopia Double, and Utopia for the Utopia play. Also run 1 number 38 Hope Harbinger. Definitely can deal with all those problematic spells. Considering Sky Striker is going to be one of the best decks of the formats, or at least that's kind of what I'm predicting. Although its format still kind of undefined following the ban list while this is being recorded. This definitely works against a deck like Sky Strikers, and it's a rank 8 you can go into. You can also use Dingirsu or a different rank 8 if you want to. I also run the 1 Rail Cannon Gust Max and the 1 Juggernaut Libe. These don't come up too often, but you can use Citadel and Dare Crane for them. Dreadnought, once per turn, detach a card to burn for 2,000, and Dreadnought just becomes a monster that attacks for 6k. During, let's say Utopia is not enough to finish it up, then you can just also bring out a Libe, but Libe is going to be much harder to summon than Utopia. Also run the 1 number 77, the 7 Sins. Just another good rank 12 monster, because we don't really have a lot of rank 12 monsters, unfortunately. I feel like the rank 11, 12 monster pool is not too great. Obviously, your best option is Zeus, because Zeus is, well, just an overall broken card. Basically, just like Citadel, it Raigekis during your opponent's turn, and it's not a once per turn either. So you can just Raigeki. That sounds fun, doesn't it? So what do you think of Catch? Think it's pretty cool? Do you think the Machina cards really work? Do you think Incadrill's a nice tech choice? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video I make. Bye.